Welcome traders. I'm just going to go over a quick recap of the market from where we are now and what we can expect over the coming few days and running into next week. So this week I'm only looking at Euro USD and Euro USD CAD to trade, and off of that I'm looking at the DXY to give us some guidance on what's driving the market, why it's driving the market, and where we're heading. So a few weeks ago we had a nice reversal pattern come into play for DXY. Since then price have been pushing higher, taking out internal liquidity, and these are the areas that I've got us marked for pushing up into. Now this momentum could carry on and we could see this straight for the first few days next week, or we could get a pullback into these areas and then the end of the week maybe push back up. We don't know which way it's going to play out yet until the market opens, so we'll just make two plans for both scenarios. So this is the weekly close. You can see that this was a strong move. We've just found this support up in here which has stopped price for this strong bullish close. If we go to the daily chart, sorry my internet's lagging a little bit. Here you can see we've ran this internal liquidity out which was external. We started to make a series of bullish moves because we're taking out these highs. We've now ran up into this area, and it's holding price just for now. This is where we want to see price, or where I'm expecting price to run to. From where we are, where the market is going to open this evening, tomorrow, we have 105 pips, say, to the top of this area, and if we get pullbacks first, then we're looking at the same 100 pips to this sort of area, or maybe even this area. Either way, we've got a plan for both. If we have a pullback first of thing, then we can look to long once we get down to these areas. If price pushes on, then we can look to short from these areas if we get a reversal pattern. If this is strong enough to say this is going to stop the dollar, we're going to turn around. So taking this into the currencies, if we look at Euro USD first, this is the daily chart. Here is the daily leg that we're working in, or the range that we're working in. These are weekly dividers from when this trend changed from bullish to bearish and it started hunting lower prices. As you can see, every week has either been a range of consolidation or it has been pushing lower. Every week where we took liquidity, we then turned around. This week, last week, we had the high which ran out all of this liquidity, then it turned and it started hunting this liquidity. We're now sat right in here where this break of structure occurred, and that stopped price for the weekly close. So we've got these areas here that you can see that we could pull into that might cause a reaction, and we might get those pullbacks from there. If the dollar ends up, the euro ends up pushing first, we've got these areas up in here and a higher area that it could cause price to turn back around, and then we'll see the continuation to the downside. If you measure these moves compared to the dollar, this again is 104 pips to the downside, 120, 130 pips to the bottom of this area, and for the pullbacks it's exactly the same. We've got like 130 pips to this area. If the dollar DXY moves 100 pips, you can usually expect the euro to be moving 125, 130 pips. because the dollar is restricted in its movements. If we look into the 4 hour, you can see that this is just literally fell off of a cliff from the middle of the week. There's not really much liquidity to run out, so I would think that if we get a pullback, we're just going to fill some of this in, and probably come back and we'll make a reversal, and then we'll start hunting lower. If we get some kind of consolidation in here, we just need to look to which side it's going to take the liquidity from first. If it takes the highs first, then we know that we're going to short. If it takes the lows first, then we know we're going to long. Moving on to USD CAD. So this is the range that we're working in, the daily leg. We've got a lot of liquidity sat up here that could be run out. This technically hasn't taken out any of these daily highs, so we could actually keep on falling because the CAD has been strong. If the CAD is held in a range and the CAD doesn't keep on pushing, then this US dollar strength should come through and we should see some of this liquidity took out. If I take off, you can see that we've got a lot of liquidity sat up here, a lot of liquidity sat here, there's more here, and then all of this here. All of this could be cleared if the dollar strength can come in and this reversal pattern holds strong. So this looks good to be lining up with the dollar. We just need to see what's going to happen on the open of the market. This is the week that we're looking at. We want to see ideally this either ran out or respected first thing, and then that will give us the opportunities to go long, or we want to see this ran out and then a pullback, and then we could carry on going long if this reversal is going to come into play. I'm going to let the dollar guide the way, and then we'll sit back and once we get in sync with the dollar, let it play out for Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are the best trading days of the week, so we need to see what price action we get early on, let that play out, and then jump into the market when we're confident and we know what the XY is going to do, which way it's going to push the markets. It has been in control the past few weeks. You can see that this has clearly been pushing on. Once this area held on the daily, the weekly then wanted to close above this. It did exactly that by closing here, and it hasn't closed below that, which has led to the bullish momentum of this just pushing on. So we have these areas, we know where we're going with it. We want to leave it a few days until everything lines up in all three of these pairs. Once it does, we can set a trading plan and look to trade it for the last 3 days of the week. Hope you guys get something from this. If you want a bit more detail, then come and join us on Wednesday the 10th when we're doing a live call, open to everybody. Hope to see you there.